Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. Just wanted to put up a little video on a really express turbo cider that I made. Turned out really nice. And it was actually the simplest recipe that I came up with. Been kind of an experiment back and forth with different yeasts at first, and I tried a ale yeast, and the cider kind of tasted a little bready, a lot bready actually, and then I tried a white wine yeast and a champagne yeast, and I'm telling you, the secret to a good turbo cider is the yeast. And what I did was I got an actual champagne yeast called it's Red Star yeast, and it's called Premier Cuvée, and that's what I ended up with. And I just put it into, I got the cider from the store, put it in the bottle, you know, put my yeast in it, and that's all I did. I think the original gravity was 1.1, the original gravity is 1.040. It ended up fermenting out so dry that I think it ended up being over 5% ABV. But what happens with the champagne yeast is that it completely eats everything up, except for all the sweetness completely eats it up, except for the apple flavor. If you can imagine apple flavor, you know, minus the sweetness. So what I did was I back sweetened it, and I used a half ounce of Splenda per gallon, and then I carbonated at the same time, or actually bottle conditioned at the same time, with an ounce of table sugar, and bottled it that way. That's all I did, and here it is here, and I'll show you. Turned out really nice. Turned out nice and clear. In fact, I can almost pour the whole, there's just a little bit of yeast there, but look at all those bubbles. But it turned out really nice and crisp. The yeast makes it nice and crisp, and you know, you can adjust that sweetness level to whatever you like. I don't like it really sweet, but this is the sweetest I've made it, but it actually turned out the best as well. But so it was a gallon of cider, Premier Cuvée yeast. I back sweetened it and bottle conditioned it at the same time. 1 ounce of table sugar, half ounce Splenda, and it came out. You know, I think I ended up leaving it sit in the bottle for 2 weeks. It fermented for 2 weeks, bottle for 2 weeks. About a month, you got a cider. Now, of course, these turn out better if you let them age a little bit, or if you let them age a lot, like a year, and then you have, you know, a classic. But this actually tastes really good after 2 weeks in the bottle. Let me go in for a taste. Cheers, everybody. It has a really good apple flavor. It's not too dry once you back sweeten it, but it has. I think this is my wife's favorite so far. She's kind of been my my judger on my apple ciders. I still, you know, like doing beers primarily, but it's funny because you're not even brewing apple ciders. I mean, this could be like something you could get your friends hooked on, you know, to make their own ciders, and then kind of lead them into making beers, because you're not even really cooking. You're not cooking anything really, unless you. The only thing you have to do is actually melt your sugar in a little bit of water, or in a little bit of leftover apple cider, and put it in that way. But anyway, it turned out great. Tastes great. Nice, refreshing, crisp, easy to do, really easy to do. But anyway, well, Homebrew 62, I will see you on the next video. Cheers.